Well, hello everyone and welcome back. I found this awesome Crape Myrtle here in a neighborhood I was in. This is Friday, August 5th, 2022 here in the late evening. And this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous specimen of this Crape Myrtle. This is one of the better ones that you'll see here in Cincinnati. And this thing is just amazing with this kind of deep pink over here on this side, followed up by this, I guess you would call that lavender maybe, or just purple. And then another one of these deep pinks here on this end. This is amazing. All in all, this has got about, looks to be about 4 clumps. Now, this is how crepe myrtles grow here in Cincinnati. They do not have trunks on them. So, I mean, every once in a while, one of the trunked ones will live for a little bit, but ultimately, if you want long-term crepe myrtle here in Cincinnati, it has to be this variety. Not exactly sure of the name of these. There's several varieties that are like this, but it's like these stems, all these clumps of stems, and you're really not going to have much of a trunk ever. But this is about the northernmost limit that I think a crepe would survive long term. I don't think they're going to survive much more any more north than we are here. Even here, they're a little bit sketchy. They can go for there's a good amount of them that don't survive. There's a good amount of them that have survived, obviously. This one's one of those. I mean, that is beautiful. Unbelievable. Unbelievable beauty. I mean, you just cannot beat the beauty on these things. Wow. But yeah, success rate here for crepes is not great. Don't know the exact percentage, but if you plant some of these, you will have some losses. No doubt about it. I think a lot of times they pretty much die back down to the ground in the winter. Sometimes they can start up on new wood, sometimes still on the old wood, depending on how bad the winter was. But this one's been here a long time and it's completely out in the open. This thing has no protection at all. This is actually a bad spot for it. I would not have planted this here. I'm actually kind of surprised it's doing this well here. But this thing is huge. This is probably, I would say, almost 15 feet tall from the base of the plant to the top there, almost 15 feet. And in terms of width, it's probably about at least 10 feet from this end here over to this end. So this is just a huge specimen. This is beautiful. So I had to make sure I caught some video of it. Let's get a little silhouette here in the sun, huh? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This one's been here a long, long time, and it's awesome to see. So Crape Myrtle, Cincinnati, Ohio. These do not do as well as Southern Magnolias do here. Southern Magnolias, no questions asked, no issues, will survive. But Crepe Myrtles, you cannot say the same thing for Crepe Myrtles. But this is about as good as you're gonna get here. And it's still beautiful. Welcome back, everyone. Yesterday I had videotaped what I thought to be maybe the biggest Crepe Myrtle in Cincinnati, but I knew where to come to find what probably is the biggest Crepe Myrtle in Cincinnati, here at Spring Grove Cemetery, just outside of downtown Cincinnati. still very much within the city limits here. Spring Grove is notorious for, it's actually a botanical garden as well, I believe, and it's just notorious for having very old, just awesome plants, especially trees. And they got a ton of old everything here, really interesting things. They really take pride in their grounds here, and I definitely found what I tend to think probably is the largest Crape Myrtle in Cincinnati. This thing is huge. Obviously the video here isn't going to do it justice, but I calculate probably almost 20 feet tall, 16, 17, something like that, in terms of feet tall. And then the width is probably about the same, the diameter around this thing. There's a bunch of different clumps in there, man, this is just magnificent. I'm gonna go around so you can see it all and check out what some of the stems look like. But this is beautiful, man. That pink is unbelievable. This thing is just huge. Let's check out some of the stem situation here so you get a good feel for what they're like here. But you can see there, you can see a whole bunch of stems that have been cut, and a lot of times these die back down to the ground if we have a bad winter, and so they cut those. But this one, man, that's really cool to see some of these stems. That one right there in particular, with that smooth bark. I mean, that's probably the thickest quote-unquote trunk I've ever seen on a crepe myrtle here in Cincinnati. That one in the middle, where that smooth is actually exposed. That just rarely ever happens. Yeah, unbelievable. So I think I've videotaped the two biggest crepes here in Cincinnati, and I'll continue to keep my eyes out for them. But man, it's hard to beat this. That is just gorgeous. Hey everyone, back here at Spring Grove Cemetery again, and I found another large, two stands here of Crape Myrtles, and these are particularly interesting, A, because they're very tall, and B, because of these things actually have trunks on them. Let's go take a look at these, and you'll actually be able to see some trunks. Check that out. I mean, that's that smooth red wood that you typically see on these in the South. And man, that is thick. Those are the thickest trunks I've ever seen on this, on a crepe, that is. And they're all like that. This is a white, obviously, and actually it's almost just about done. I don't particularly care for the white, but nevertheless, man, this is beautiful. Unbelievable. So this is definitely the most tree looking variety that we have. I mean, that could go for an actual tree there, more than just a bush. And these things are way tall, way over I'd say way over 12 feet, maybe 15. Actually about as tall as that one I just recorded. And then here's the second stand of them here. A little bit less of a nice looking one, but man, just incredible. Unbelievable size of these things. Check that out. That's unbelievable. I mean, I can walk under this canopy. So it just goes to show different cultivars. This one actually has a sign. Let's go check out that sign. Or an identification tag, I guess you would say. Let's see what that says. Let's see here. Sarah's favorite Crape Myrtle, Lagerstroemia indica. Sarah's favorite. So that's interesting. So yeah, maybe that's the one to have here. You could actually get a truck going. Just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.